Good morning, all my dear students. Today, we are going to continue with History, chapter number 2, Europe and India. Now, in previous chapter, we have already studied period of Renaissance, religious reform movement, geographical discoveries, intellectual revolution in Europe, revolution in political sphere, American War of Independence, French Revolution, Industrial Revolution, and rise of capitalism. In today's lecture, we are going to continue with the remaining point. So exactly what we have studied in this lesson. In this lesson, it covers the event that had taken place in Europe during the 13th to 18th century. It stated why the period was called as Age of Renaissance and the different revolutions that had taken place on the basis of religion, intellectual and political sphere. It also provides information about reason of rights in trading company and the policies used to protect trade between the nations. It throws light on how Americans fought the War of Independence and the history behind the French Revolution. This lesson highlights the impact of Industrial Revolution, which resulted in capitalism and imperialism. It also explained the reason of establishment of East India Company in India and reason for the Battle of Plassey. It narrates the story behind the Battle of Buxar. The chapter tells us how Mysore, Sindh and Punjab came under the control of the British. So all those things we are going to study in this chapter. Now we are going to begin with the first point, that is colonialism. Colonialism means one country exploiting other country by making it into a colony. The word exploiting means treating someone unfairly. Okay, so the powerful country, they exploit other country by making into a colony. A powerful country, on the basis of economic and military strength, occupies another region and establish its political supremacy. This is known as a colonialism. This tendency of colonialism led to the rise of imperialism among the Europeans. So, how they used to capture the political supremacy on the specific area? By or on the basis of economic and military strength. They occupy the region and they establish their political supremacy. And this is known as a colonialism. And because of this, it led to the tendency of colonialism in the rise of imperialism among the Europeans. Now the next point we are going to study, that is imperialism. Imperialism means a system in which a powerful country controls other countries by establishing its overall domination and establishing many colonies. So by establishing overall domination and establishing many colonies, a powerful country, they controls the other country, and that is known as a imperialism. So what is the definition of a colonialism? It means one country exploit the other country by making it into a colony. Okay, and what is imperialism? It means that a system in which a powerful country controls other countries by establishing its overall domination and establishing many colonies. That is called as a imperialism. So these two definitions are very important. Next, many countries from Asian and African continent fell prey to this imperialistic aspiration of the European nation. So many countries from the Asian and African continent, they fell prey. Prey means hunt, or in Hindi it is called as a shikar karna. Okay, so they become a prey to this imperialistic aspiration of the European nation. Aspiration means we can say the hope. Okay, and they established many colonies and imperialism in Asian and African continent. Next one, imperialism of British East India Company in India. As there was competition was going on among the European countries for acquiring trade monopoly in India. The British established British East India Company in the year 1600 AD to carry out trade in India. So, to carry out trade in India, what the Britishers did? They established the British East India Company to carry out the trade in India. So, the British East India Company, they took the permission from Emperor Jahangir and they established factory in Surat. So, that time Emperor Jahangir was ruling. So, the Britishers, they took the permission of Emperor Jahangir to establish the factory in Surat, and after getting the permission, Britishers, they established the factory in Surat. So the trade between India and England was carried out through this British East India Company. Now we are going to move to the next point, that is struggle between English and French. Why there was a struggle between English and the French happened? What was the reason behind that? That we are going to study in this point. England and France were rivals in the competition for trade in India. The meaning of rival means a person competing with other for the same objective or for the superiority in the same field or activity. It's called as a rival. As there was a competition was going on between the England and France to get the supremacy for trade in India. And for this reason, there were 3 wars fought between England and France, and which were known as Carnatic Wars. In the third Carnatic War, England finally defeated the France. Therefore, now there was no strong European competitor for British East India Company in India. As I said, there were 3 Carnatic Wars were fought between England and France. So when the first and second war happened, that time the France won the Carnatic Wars. And when the third war happened, that time the England, they defeated the France and they won the Carnatic War. So what was the reason behind this war? As both the countries, the ambition of controlling the trade and political power in India were the primary cause of the contest between the French and the English, which resulted in 3 Carnatic War. So after defeating the France, therefore now there was no strong European competitor for the British East India Company in India. Now next we are going to study, that is foundation of rule of India Company in Bengal. The Bengal province was one of the most prosperous province in India. So the word prosperous means successful or flourishing financially. Okay. So compared to the other provinces of India, the Bengal provinces was most prosperous province in India. In the year 1756 AD, Suraj-ud-Dowla became the Nawab of Bengal. The East India Company's officer, they started misusing the trade concession which they have obtained. The word obtained means receive or got from the Mughal emperor in Bengal provinces. They started building fortification around the factory at Kolkata without the permission of the Nawab. Fortification means started building a wall. Hence, Siraj-ud-Dowla captured the factory at Kolkata. This created discontent in England. The word discontent means became dissatisfied. So because of the action of Siraj Uddola, as he captured the factory at Kolkata, because of this action, it creates dissatisfaction in England. Robert Clive, he diplomatically briefed Mir Jafar. Here the word brief means to pursue someone, okay, or Hindi it is called as a lalach dena, okay. So the Robert Clive, he diplomatically briefed Mir Jafar, the commander in chief of the Nawab army. So he was the commander in chief of Nawab army, and Robert Clive, he briefed Mir Jafar and also promised to make him the Nawab of Bengal. So by giving a promise to make him the Nawab of Bengal, Robert Clive briefed Mir Jafar. Brief means lalach diya. So he briefed Mir Jafar that he is going to make him the next Nawab of Bengal. Nawab Siraj Uddola and the British troops met at Plassey in the year 1757 AD. But under the leadership of Mir Jafar, the Nawab's army made no move to actually join the battle. Hence, Siraj Uddola was defeated. As the war was declared between Nawab Siraj Uddola and the British troops, which they made at the Plassey. But who was the leader of that Nawab's army? Mir Jafar, who already diplomatically briefed by the Robert Clive that he is going to make the Mir Jafar as the next Nawab of Bengal. And because of this, the Nawab's army, they did not move to actually join the battle. As army, they always have to listen to the leader. And who was the leader? Mir Jafar was the leader. So as leader did not say anything, and that is why the army also, they do not move to join the battle, and hence Siraj Uddola was defeated. And after the defeat of Siraj Uddola, Mir Jafar, he became the Nawab of Bengal with the support of British. But later he started protesting against the British. He also started protesting against the Britishers. Hence his son-in-law Mir Qasim was made the Nawab. As Mir Jafar, he started opposing the Britishers. Because of that, Britishers made Mir Jafar's son-in-law Mir Qasim as the next Nawab of Bengal. Mir Qasim tried to put restriction on the illegal trade of British, and hence once again Mir Jafar was made the Nawab of Bengal. After becoming the Nawab of Bengal, Mir Qasim, he also started put restriction on the illegal trade which was carried by the Britishers in Bengal, and because of that, once again the Britishers made the Mir Jafar as the next Nawab of Bengal, and they removed the Mir Qasim from the Nawab position. To restrict the activities of British in Bengal, Mir Qasim, Siraj Uddola, the Nawab of Ayodhya, and the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam formed an alliance and ran a campaign. As these were the people who wanted to restrict the activities of the British in Bengal, and that is why they all came together and they formed an alliance and they ran a campaign against the Britishers. In the year 1764 AD, Battle of Buxar was fought in Bihar. After this battle, British East India Company got the right to collect the revenue from Bengal provinces as per the Treaty of Allahabad. In this manner, the foundation of British rule in India was laid in Bengal. So where the foundation of British rule laid, it laid in Bengal. So when the Battle of Buxar happened in Bihar, that time Britishers, they defeated the alliance. Okay, and because of that, the Treaty of Allahabad was signed. And as per the treaty, the Britishers got the right to collect the revenue. Revenue means the tax from the Bengal provinces. And in this manner, the foundation of the British rule in India was laid in Bengal. So students, here we are going to stop. The remaining part we are going to continue in the next lecture. And your homework is you are going to read whatever I have taught you today. Thank you.